The death toll from a series of explosions in a military barracks in Equatorial Guinea has risen to 98, according to the country's health ministry on Monday. At least 615 people were injured in the blasts on Sunday, which started with a fire at a military base in the coastal city of Bata. This is according to the defense ministry. The health ministry put the death toll at 98. That's more than triple an earlier estimate of 31 people killed. The ministry said 299 people who were wounded remain hospitalized. President Teodoro Obiang Nguema has attributed the accident to negligence related to the handling of dynamite. He said the explosions damaged almost all the homes and buildings in Bata, a city of just over 250,000 people. The United States says no decision has been made about its military commitment to Afghanistan after May the 1st. A deadline for the remaining 2,500 U.S. troops to withdraw from the country in line with a year-old peace pact with the Taliban insurgency. The Pentagon on Monday confirmed its review of the U.S.-Taliban deal is still pending and that until it is complete, a decision on the future of U.S. forces in Afghanistan will have to wait. The comments came in response to reports that Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in a letter to Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, warned that Ghani's government may have to deal with the Taliban onslaught on its own if the Afghan leader fails to urgently consider proposals on accelerating U.S.-initiated peace efforts. Proposals reportedly include an international conference under the auspices of the United Nations to push forward the Afghan peace process. In India, International Women's Day has been marked by sit-ins and hunger strikes led by female farmers against the country's new agricultural laws. Local media reported that at least 40,000 women traveled to New Delhi this International Women's Day to take part in the protests. Throughout the country, women have played a leading role in the months-long protests. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the laws are an effort to modernize agriculture, for months now they've been met with protests involving hundreds of thousands of farmers throughout the country. Farmers allege that new laws passed by the Indian Parliament in September would allow big companies to drive down crop prices. In response to backlash, the Modi administration proposed an 18-month hold on the laws. Farmers, however, said they will not settle for anything less than full repeal. Agriculture makes up about 15% of India's economy. It's also the primary source of livelihood for nearly 60% of the country's population. Lebanese protesters blocked key roads with burning barricades in rage at the country's political paralysis and deep economic crisis on Monday after its currency hit record lows on the black market. The country is in the grips of its worst economic crisis in decades, compounded by the coronavirus pandemic. Prices have soared, and more than half the population is living below the poverty line, but the divided political class has been unable to form a cabinet for the past 6 months. Lebanon's currency has lost more than 80% of its value since the autumn of 2019, plunging to an all-time low of nearly 11,000 pounds to the dollar. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam says the city's postponed legislative elections could be delayed even further due to changes in its electoral system. China's national legislature, the National People's Congress, is expected to approve a number of changes to Hong Kong's electoral process during its current annual session. Among the expected changes are granting more voting power to pro-Beijing members of Hong Kong's Electoral Commission, which chooses Hong Kong's chief executive. The Asian financial hub was rocked by massive and often violent anti-government protests in the last half of 2019. The demonstrations spurred Beijing to impose a new national security law last year, under which anyone in Hong Kong believed to be carrying out terrorism, separatism, subversion of state power, or collusion with foreign forces could be tried and would face life in prison if convicted.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.